Academic Challenge.
From Maslin, team number 1. From Macedonia, team number 2. And from Cleveland, team number 3.
Academic Challenge. Brought to you by the Illuminating Company and by Ohio Edison. And now, here's the master mind prober, Don Webster.
Thank you, Paul King. Hi again, everybody. It's time now to play the Brain Game Academic Challenge. So let's get all 3 teams in action with our opening 60-second lightning round. Questions are all in the same category, and this is it. Before you can have a state bird or a state flower, you first should have a state capital, right? Now, we're going to show you a list of American states. I want you to name the capital cities. Check your monitor, and here we go. There's the first one, Nordonia.
Albany.
That is right. And the second, from Massachusetts, we want Tuslaw.
Boston.
Right. California. Tuslaw.
Sacramento.
That's it. Mississippi. Tuslaw.
Jackson.
Is right. Iowa. Nordonia.
Iowa City.
No, Des Moines. How about Georgia? Lincoln.
Atlanta.
That's it. Idaho. Nordonia.
Boise.
Florida. Tuslaw.
Tallahassee.
That's it. Illinois. Lincoln West.
Springfield.
Right. Missouri. No takers for Jefferson City. Okay, North Dakota. North Dakota. That is...
Bismarck.
What's that?
Bismarck.
That's it. And finally, West Virginia. Tuslaw?
Charleston.
Charleston is right, and that's the end of the round. Let's meet our contestants now and check the team scores. First of all, from Tuslaw, opening with 60 points, we have...
Amy Endorf, Jr., member of the band.
Diane Ledbetter, Senior, Vice President of Choir.
Peter Leonard, Senior, Worcester Dealer Record, Teen of the Month.
And also alternates, Evan Edwards and Steve Harvey. Now, from Nordonia, beginning with 20 points, we introduce...
Susan Homa, Senior Board Member.
John DeMent, Senior, recipient of the Bosch and Lomb Science Medal Award.
Scott Kabanik, basketball team.
And also an alternate, Dan Ranta. Now from Lincoln West, also starting with 20 points, we would like you to meet...
Dwayne Smith, Jr., math student.
Yolando Tallarico, Senior, editor of the school yearbook.
Joe Abdelnauer, Senior, Senior Class President.
And alternate, Teresa Buck.
Students competing on tonight's program receive the second college edition of Webster's New World Dictionary, the reference for meaning and spelling on Academic Challenge, and also used by the New York Times, Associated Press, and UPI as their dictionary of first reference. Runner-up teams are given this History of the Congress of the United States from American Heritage Publishing Company. And the winning team gets the Random House Encyclopedia, supplied by the Bookseller Paperback Exchange, Ohio's largest bookstore, located at the intersection of Routes 2 and 57 in Elyria.
Our first team round is ahead after a look at this from Ohio Edison and the Illuminating Company.
Do you know where schools get the money they need to keep going? Right, taxes. Now that was easy, but the next question's a little tougher. Do you know whose property taxes carry a big share of the load? Give up? Your investor-owned utilities. For example, part of what you pay for electricity goes for taxes that help finance public schools from elementary through high school. When you think of everything an electric company needs to serve you, like generating plants, substations, transmission towers, and poles, You can see why they pay so much in property taxes. And you can see why when it comes to tax support for your schools and for public services like police and fire protection, we've got a lot going for you at Ohio Edison and the Illuminating Company.
This round, teams have 75 seconds to answer 10 questions worth 10 points apiece. Answering all 10 correctly adds 50 bonus points.
Alrighty, time now to really get underway. Let's go back to Nordonia and John to make our first.
Number 2, please.
Okay. And our questions now are coming over to Tuslaw for round number 1. Here we go. The early seafaring Danes who raided England have namesakes in what modern Minnesota football team?
Vikings.
Right. Choosing among the wonders of the ancient world, an ancient sailor might have preferred the Pharos at Alexandria, since it was what type of structure serving as a beacon for ships?
Statue.
No, a lighthouse. Asia's second highest mountain, Godwin Austen, is called K2. If Africa were to follow suit, she might call what highest mountain of Hemingway fame K1?
Kilimanjaro.
Now, on your monitor, simplify the expression that you see.
1 over the square root of 2.
No, 1/2. Newgate, the famous London prison, has been demolished, but tourists still flock to Trader's Gate, the entrance to what tower where the crown jewels are kept?
Tower of London.
That's it. Which of the following is property of sodium hydroxide? Deliquescence, effervescence, or iridescence?
Deliquescence.
That's it. Husbands may refer to their spouses in a variety of ways, including what expression used by Louisa May Alcott in the title of a famous novel?
Little Women.
That's right. What is the last digit of the fourth power of 23?
3.
No, 1. Robert Gray was a Rhode Island sloopmaster who discovered and named what mighty North American river that flows between Oregon and Washington State?
Columbia.
That's right. 2 biographies of George Washington were written by what fellow Virginian? Okay, then we have the end of the round. Do you want to take a crack at that or not? No? Okay, it was John Marshall, what I was leading up to. That's the end of the round. 120 points for Tulsa. Okay, let's go back over to Lincoln West and Yolando.
Number 6, please.
All right, 6 it is. Questions coming back to Nordonia now. Here we go. The Earl of Sandwich, Britain's Lord Admiral in 1776, might have had his first fleet scuttled by what modern American sandwich named for an airtight underwater vessel?
Submarine.
Right. Today, you might identify a banker by his pinstripe suit. In the Middle Ages, by what Christian emblem on a shield would you identify a knight about to join a crusade to the Holy Land?
Cross.
Right. When Ulysses sailed between Scylla and Charybdis, a ship was also passing between Italy and what large island off the toe of the boot?
Sicily.
Is right on your monitor now. In the equation you see, what is the positive value of x when
4.
x squared is right? Hoping to chip away at the Chippewa Indians, French settlers urged them to war with what other tribe whose members included Sitting Bull?
No.
All right, the Sioux. Which of the following terms is not a unit of energy? Calorie, watt, or foot-pound?
Foot-pound.
No, watt. Most persons who have been falsely imprisoned get only an apology. But in a famous Alexander Dumas novel, the falsely imprisoned Dante discovered an enormous fortune on what island?
No.
No? Monte Cristo. 2 angles are supplementary. One angle is 30 degrees larger than the other. How many degrees are there in the smaller angle?
No.
75. Whittier wrote about... Okay, there we have the end of the round. 60 points for Nordonia, and that is their first round. And we come back now to team captain number 1, Diane, to pick.
Number 3, please.
3? Okay. Lincoln West, here we go. Every baseball team has its star base stealer, but on what Pennsylvania football team is every player a stealer?
Pittsburgh.
Right. Not only did Joan of Arc gain fame while a teenager, so too did a French boy who invented what system of raised dots to help the blind read?
Braille.
Right. If you find yourself floating on cloud 9, would you be floating in a state of euphoria, amnesia, or hysteria?
Amnesia.
No, euphoria. All right, on your monitor, if angle 1 is 40 degrees, angle 2 is 80 degrees, what is angle 3, the exterior angle?
120.
That's it. The Boer War was not fought between wild beasts, but between the English and what other European colonists who were struggling for control of South Africa?
Spain.
No, the Dutch. Most Pacific island atolls are formed by what pale red skeletal deposit from sea polyps often used in jewelry?
Pearl.
No, coral. Which of these diseases primarily affects the nervous system? Diphtheria, polio, or typhoid fever?
Typhoid fever.
No, polio. If a line joining the midpoints of the 2 legs of a right triangle is 5 inches long, how long is the hypotenuse of the right triangle?
No.
Let it go. 10 inches. Samuel Johnson did not need a modern tape recorder to preserve his wit and wisdom because he had what faithful biographer... Okay, I can't finish it, but if you want to try it, you may. Or would you like to let it go? Let it go? Okay, James Boswell was going to be the answer. And there's 50 points for Lincoln West. And that is the end of round one. We'll be tonight's judges and also move on to the visual free-for-all right after a message from the Illuminating Company in Ohio Edison.
If you're like most people, you take electricity for granted. And why wouldn't you? You never have to put it on your shopping list or drive somewhere to pick it up. You don't even see it. It's just there whenever you need it. All you have to do is put a plug in an outlet and flick a switch. In a split second, your electricity is generated in a power plant and delivered to your house through substations and transformers and miles of power lines. Next time you flick a switch, think of everything it takes just to bake a cake.
Academic Challenge congratulates the school teachers and, of course, the administrators who encourage the pursuit of scholarly excellence. Here with us are the faculty members who coach tonight's teams. And first of all, from Tuslaw, I would like you to meet English teacher and seventh-year advisor Barbara Landis. From Nordonia, in his 6th year as advisor, teacher of American history, John M. Tillett. And from Lincoln West, in her 1st season as an advisor, teacher of English, Paulette Gall.
In the next 90 seconds, all 3 teams will compete simultaneously in a visual free-for-all. The first team ringing the bell when a question is asked will be recognized. The right answer gets you 10 points, but we'll take away 10 for incorrect answers or failure to reply. There are no past questions.
Thank you, Paul, and we are now underway. Check your monitors. Named for their braying voices, these jackass penguins are not found in Antarctica, but in what country whose capitals are Cape Town and Pretoria? Tuslaw.
Australia.
No, South Africa. This pink flower takes its name from its broad leaves, which are said to resemble the ears of what largest land mammal? Nordonia?
Elephant.
And say hello now to Astarte, who was both goddess of the moon and goddess of fertility for what ancient seafaring people who developed our alphabet?
Greek.
Lincoln.
Greek.
No, the Phoenicians. This famous woodblock print by the artist Hokusai shows a deep-sea wave dwarfing what instant volcano, the highest peak in Japan? Nordonia?
Mount Kilimanjaro.
Fujiyama. Whatever fort lamp means, by rearranging the letters in the phrase, you can name what statement of party principles that is usually adopted at a political convention?
Platform.
Right. This is the Canyon of the Lost Souls near the Colorado town of Durango. The souls lost in this canyon were miners who hoped to find what precious metal with the chemical symbol AG? Lincoln.
Gold.
No, silver. The angstrom is equal to which of the choices on the monitor? A, B, or C? Tuslaw?
C.
C is right. On your monitor now, you see a portrait of what 16th century queen who was widowed at an early age and condemned to death for plotting against her cousin, Queen Elizabeth I, Nordonia.
Mary Tudor.
No, Mary Stuart, Mary Queen of Scots. You see here the flag that flies over what Asian island that has been the stronghold of the nationalist Chinese since 1949? Tuslaw?
Taiwan.
Here is a painting of what biblical hero who interpreted Pharaoh's dream about... Okay, I had asked the question, the buzzer had not gone. Can I take an answer or not? No, all right, we cannot take it, I'm sorry. That's the end of the round now. 140 points for Tuslaw, and they're still in the lead. Okay, coming up, a look at tonight's schools right after this timeout for Ohio Edison and the Illuminating Company.